You know what it is. You know who it is. This is Rich Warrior Lifestyle Podcast, and I am Trig, the Rich Warrior. Let's get it. Okay. Today's topic, I got my pen and my pad, freshly written notes, because we doing this thing, we're going to keep this thing relevant and we're going to keep it authentic, you know what I mean? Just off of experience. So today's topic is the health of Northern America / the United States Republic. And you might not know what the second half of that means, but the Republic means the people's land. People control the land and not the other way around. You dig what I'm saying? So, all right. I have another business and some other businesses that I'm working on. So I do a lot of driving, and I've been wondering, and the reason why I asked this question, because I do a lot of driving. I see different areas. I see different people, businesses, I'm just paying attention to a lot. And when I'm out, I don't know if y'all know already, but my blueprint when it comes to my meals throughout the day, I do it like this, y'all. I take one day to shop, clean up, organize, get everything right for the week. But I cook twice a week and I fast. And each time I cook is for 3 days. So I cook twice a week, 3 days. First day, 3 days, second day, 3 days, that's 6 days. Then I fast, which I'm doing today. I fast on the 7th day, and on the 7th day, I organize and I do whatever I need to do. So, I've been preparing and cooking mostly my breakfast and dinner, because my breakfast I can take with me, and my dinner I have to be home to heat it up, because I don't want to bank on trying to find a microwave. And I prefer not to use a microwave, even though I use it sometimes. But when I'm out now, and I'm not in the areas that I want to go to as far as to eat lunch and things like that. Sometimes I don't eat lunch, I find it hard, and this is the first topic, food quality in our environments here in Northern America. I find it to be food options and food quality. I find it to be not as accessible to acquire good quality, fresh food versus processed food products and things you just, you're not fully confident, aware, and knowledgeable about. So you kind of like, and you know what, I could tell if something is, and this is how you can tell, but this is how I tell if something is right for me. It's really just about how I feel, provided that I'm taking my time eating. I'm chewing my food into smaller pieces, because you could be eating the right food, but if you're eating too fast, you're rushing, and you're taking big chunks of food, that could, give you it can affect and give you the effect of like drowsiness and things like that. So, but I find myself when I'm out, it's hard to find or even know that you're getting quality food. So what I do is I have and it's really two places that I really go to for lunch for fresh, good food. But outside of that, it's not too many options. And I'm being conscious of my expenses as well. I don't want to get too wild out here spending $20 for lunch, But I would spend $20 for lunch before I spend $10 for something that I really don't want. So that's my mindset behind that. But as I ride around, especially in the inner city, man, all I'm seeing is so-called fast food. That's all I'm seeing. And it's hard to find and I can say it's hard to find because you can Google it, but it's not too many food markets like grocery stores in these areas. And that's one reason why I don't care to live downtown. I don't care to live in the city for real. Cause it's like, and just me in general, I like to be near certain type of shopping, which really is food until I get my own garden and, do my thing. But the food quality, and I know this by reading the ingredients and how I feel when some days I be like, man, I'm just super hungry, man. Let me just go get something. I ain't even thinking straight. I'm like, let me just go try this place again. I eat it, man. It's like, cause I eat 90% of the time. I'm eating fresh, home cooked meals. So when I eat this stuff, I'm feeling not, I'm feeling drained a little bit. Sometimes like a little, like it lowers my energy. I ain't gonna say sad or depressed because that's kind of an extreme feeling. You kind of know that, but you feel it's kind of going in that direction of sadness and low energy. And I'm like, man, I will never do this again. Never. So sometimes you need that contrast to, you know, get clarity on what you know you're supposed to be doing. But man, the food quality is, even in the grocery store, man, you buy some of this food, any chance I get, I do organic. And now I'm about to be real like adamant on getting all fresh organic food or getting it from farmers markets, talking to them about it, how they do what they do, getting that information. But even in grocery stores, you're getting some of this food, especially like fruit, specifically like berries, like strawberries and blueberries, in a matter of days. And I clean my fruit. I rinse it off, maybe let it soak in water and baking soda or vinegar or some apple cider vinegar. But then like a days later, sometimes this stuff is bad. Same thing with some vegetables. This stuff is bad. Like you really can't let this stuff sit too long. And I'm not even saying even let it sit for weeks. I'm saying, some of this stuff is going bad in 4 days, 3 days, or even right when I get it, it's mold on this stuff. So it's like, man, the food quality here is like, I don't know why it's like that. And I doubt it should be like that. You buying food and 3 days later is to the point where you're not sure if you want to eat it. It's like, cause you're seeing mold and you're seeing, it's not looking right. But yeah, man, the food quality here, like the accessible food and the quality of it it seems to be below average. And me thinking like, I'm like, how hard is this to do? How hard is this to get us some fresh food, some good quality food? And that's kind of how I'm looking at it. That's why I'm saying it's below average, because I believe it could easily be done. And, I need to stop procrastinating and do what I know I'm supposed to do about it, which is grow my own food, build relationships with, growers, farmers, get that knowledge, do it myself, buy from them, things like that, and spread the word. But it's coming. It's definitely coming soon, man. And some things that I do to, I'll ask the question first. What are some things, some tactics, some processes that I do to keep my food quality at the level I want it to be, which is fresh, organic. I feel good when I'm eating it, after I eat it, things like that, and it lasts in a time period where I believe it should. So, not an expert, but I don't think food should be going that bad. But things that I do is, when I'm in the grocery store, first I Google what's in season. A lot of times I Google what fruits and vegetables naturally grow in that season. It's fall right now, so I will Google that, and I will go to the store and focus mostly on that. And I'll look at the fruit more. Most of us probably do that, but look at your food. You don't want to be buying stuff and having to bring it back. That's a waste of time. You could be doing something else. You could be preparing that food. You could be relaxing. You could be walking, working out. You can be doing whatever you want to do besides doing that. So first I do that. Then I focus on what can I buy organic and find recipes around those ingredients. If they only have organic apples and pears, I find ways to, make that more exciting to eat. A lot of times you just don't want to bite an apple and bite a pear and just be, you know what I mean? Sometimes you want to chop it up, put it in some overnight oats, a parfait, or you could just do something totally different with it and get creative, man. You know what I'm saying? Use these fresh foods and these organic foods and get creative with it. You don't have to just, but if you need to, you on the go, you don't have the time or you haven't been thinking about it, just go ahead and do what you need to do, man. But definitely food quality, and I'm gonna do something about it. I got some solutions for it, for sure. And I'll share that with you guys with the footage. And the next topic on the list is the cost of living in Northern America. Man. Mm. And honestly, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, but it's to me, it's bad because I don't believe, well, I know we shouldn't be working for other people in corporations and entities to live in safe and healthy environments, peaceful environments, meaning that I shouldn't have to work stressful jobs, long hours, like extremely long hours, and not having control over if I'll be at this job tomorrow, because a lot of these states are right to work states. You can be fired tomorrow. I don't believe it should be like that. I believe it should be more rules in place, and when cost of living go up, when the cost of living goes up, it should be automatic and lawful that the wages of employees, the price of these services that people provide even with your own business should go up, because anything else is just a finesse. So you mean to tell if my expenses go up, let's say $6,000 in 1 year, but I'm still getting paid exactly the same. So what does that do? That puts me 6,000 in the hole. So you either got to get another job, work more hours, add into more stress and more time away for your family. And this is why I bring up the health of Northern America. We are spending so much time at work that a lot of people not even thinking straight, because they feel like they don't have the time to, cook home cooked meals, rest, spend time with their family. And a lot of times that's true. And it's like, when are we going to just speak up, come together, and we don't have to fight against none, just solutions. Let's talk about solutions. We don't need to argue. We don't need to bash nobody. Let's get these solutions in work, man. So, and I remember back in the, like I'm not even that old, but I remember when I was younger, cost of living, especially in the industry that I'm still in, it was frequent. It was right on time. It wasn't super delayed. It seemed like it's delayed now. Inflation goes up and then 2, 3, 4 years later, cost of living. Then it's like, nah, I'm seeing the pattern here. Seeing the pattern here, baby. You feel me? Next topic, man. We're going to get through this thing. Was going to talk on that, but I'm not, because that's another subject. I'm going to talk about, and let's get to mental health. Mental health. I got a different perspective on mental health that you probably never heard. Something that I think about. And it kind of relates to the first topic. Well, it relates to the overall title of this episode. Mental health. I believe that mental health is created and increases. I believe your mental health is negatively affected, and it increases when you don't find solutions, and when you go against your nature, who you really are, your purpose. And reason why I say that is because for instance, a lot of us are working so much that we don't what we're working for, and we don't even get to utilize the income that we have on the things that we really want to do. We're just too busy paying bills instead of, creating solutions, using that income to create solutions in our life because of, inflation and things like that. But the issue is to normalize this what's going on. When you normalize it in your head and deep down you really know it's not the right thing to do, I think that's when mental issues come about. Another thing that I notice, and I'm good with this, is like, yo, I'm a respectful, kind person, considerate person. I love being at peace. I love fun. I love laughing, but I'm serious enough and focused enough to get stuff done. But I believe that when you go to these jobs and you're around these people, and whether you're in public and you allow people to bully you, put negativity, negative thoughts, negative talk, energy into your life, that it affects your mental health. Because I believe all of us, or most of us, want to be at peace, want to have joy. But when you normalize this for money, for a so-called love from this other entity or person, that it affects your mental health. But it affects your mental health because you really are going against your nature. You're really going against who you really are. And I believe that really bothers people. Because if you didn't, even the ones that act like it don't bother them, they act out in different ways. And you know why it seems like it doesn't bother the people? Because a lot of them do messed up stuff a lot. So they don't feel as bad because they kind of like anticipated, like, like this is a part of the game. They do it, so it's going to happen to me. But at the end of the day, those people, if, put it this way, if you isolate those people, meaning like, I'm not associating with people like this. Not, don't mean you can learn. I learn from anybody, but I'm not gonna associate. I'm not gonna try to be like them or associate with them longer than necessary. So when them people start to get around each other, more people that's like them, that's when they really feel the pain of who they are. So my point is that don't allow people to bully you. You don't have to be violent. You don't have to be, things like that. Stand up for yourself. Learn how to articulate what you want to say to this person. And if possible, do it in private. Do it as kind as possible. But at some point, sometimes you might have to be more aggressive. You might have to be more stern, and you might just need to just cut them off and, not hate them, but just, me personally, I act like they're not there. I still wave, I still say hello, and that's it. You're not taking up my time or wasting my energy. So yeah, I believe mental health, mental negative effects of I believe your mental health is negatively affected when you go against your nature, your true self. And, you know, keep that in mind. Align yourself with who you really are. You got some things that you always knew you liked, you love, you caring about what other people think. And another thing, I'm glad I said that. It caring about what other people think when you are aligning yourself with God, the universal source, your true nature, who you naturally are. Caring about what people think will definitely negatively, in my opinion, affect your mental health for sure. And the next thing on the list is kind of all goes together, relationships. And I want to talk about relationships as like with significant others and, marriage and stuff like that. I believe from what I'm seeing some good relationships, And I'm seeing some okay relationships that like they're not really rooted in nothing solid. You know, it's like, oh, you like getting fresh, you like clothes, you like going out to eat, whatever's like shallow stuff. And then you got these relationships that are like, some people I know, they've been together since high school. I'm not saying that their relationship is perfect because I don't know, but they seem more rooted in some more righteous and prosperous values, meaning like maybe health and wellness, family oriented, you know, solution oriented. And then they got some other things that they like that are more material and are more, you know, of the world and things like that, which is okay, but they're more rooted in solid, you know, solid topics, things like that. So I'm definitely seeing that, and I'm seeing a lot of people wanting more than they're willing to give in relationships. I want you to do this, I want you to do that, and I want you to do this. It's to the point where they don't even mention what they're gonna give, which is crazy. And I don't care if it's a significant other or a relationship with a coworker, business partner. You never want to be in relationships like that. You're gonna end up bankrupt. You're gonna end up bankrupt for sure. Giving too much to people that are giving little to nothing. You know, and that's kind of like the health of Northern America right now. You know, especially that's what's being televised, and what we see on social media. We're seeing a lot of unhealthy relationships and unhealthy traits of people just wanting from others, want to give little to nothing. Negativity. And you know, those people try to flip negativity. I just had to cut somebody off recently because I can't stand a hypocrite. See, the word hypocrite it don't hit like it should. So it's like, you got to use word like, I can't, how can I say it? I'm gonna have to come up with a word because hypocrite don't do justice. But it's crazy that a person would talk about other people's traits. Like, I don't like when people do this and I don't like when people do that. And they turn around and do the same thing. And when you call them out on it, they get real manipulative and try to flip words. And this is like, no, man. I know what you said. I'm taking your words from what you said and throwing them back at you, and you telling me that's not what you said. I knew that's what you said. So, man, just be mindful of who you are building relationships with, you know. And yeah, man, the health of Northern America, man, I think it's below average in my opinion. But I know that my lifestyle is above average. You know, my lifestyle is above average, but I think the overall people lifestyle and traits and relationships are below average, and mindsets and even like entertainment is not as good. You know, it's hard to find stuff to watch, even though I really watch stuff. But yeah, man. So yeah, there you have it. The health of Northern America from your boy, from the kid, from the God, Trig the Rich Warrior. Man, this is Rich Warrior Lifestyle. Yes, sir. You know what it is. Let's go.